So you still think you live on a globe, right? Where people on the other side of the globe, like let's say in Australia, are living life like this, flipping upside down and walking upside down and running upside down and swimming upside down and boating upside down. You believe this, right? I mean, you would have to if you think you live on a globe. Well, what if no one's actually doing anything upside down? What if you just believe that because you were told that at a very young age? What if we live on something much more like this, where everyone is right side up and the sun and the moon circle above us? And well, there's this ice wall that surrounds all of us and holds in the water that's always flat and level. You know, kind of like what's exactly depicted in actual maps from pre NASA days. This is a 1944 map that the air school teachers used to actually use to teach their students. And notice the white thing going around them. Yeah, that's actually Antarctica and how it used to be depicted on these pre NASA maps. And you know the funny thing about Antarctica? It just happens to be the highest elevated land in all the world by more than double. That's Antarctica. Average elevation by continent. That's Antarctica. More than double. So it's saying this kind of acts like a bowl or a cup. You know, kind of like described in the Bible when it says the earth takes shape like clay under a seal. But Tyler, if the sun were circling us, how would we ever have night and day? Because here it's so easily explainable. The earth turns every 24 hours and half of it's facing the sun and the other half isn't. Oh, that looks really real, by the way. Well, I'm so glad you asked that question. You see, the sun is local and it's close, and the earth is a pretty big place. And even though you don't realize this because we're told differently, light doesn't travel endlessly. And well, if you still think you live on a globe, then you really don't realize that you live in an enclosed system. There's an enclosure above us, the firmament, in fact, and this is what happens when a light is shined on the firmament. It's also why you can see the sun angling because it's circling. If it was just going down because the earth was rotating, well, it would go in a straight line. It wouldn't be angling, and it definitely wouldn't be getting smaller. Here's a great example of it not only getting smaller, but also angling because it's circling, and the only reason it appears to go down is because of perspective. And when something gets further away in perspective, it goes lower in your field of vision and gets smaller, kind of like we see in this example here. And yes, you don't always see that because a lot of times there's thick atmosphere which acts as a lens, but on a low humidity day, it's clear as day. Oh, and the sun actually isn't in here with us. No, it's in the firmament. We just see the apparent sun, kind of like when you see a rainbow. And I'll show you evidence of that. Here is my very own backyard during the April 8th eclipse last year. And see, here's the apparent sun, and there's the actual sun in the firmament. And that's the lens flare flying around. So this is actually much closer to our reality than most people realize because the light we see isn't the source. It's coming from a different source. Kind of like when you shine a light in a paperweight. This is a paperweight and I'm shining my iPhone light at it. The iPhone light in the paperweight and the sun on the April 8th eclipse. The apparent sun and then the actual source. Funny how the apparent light in the paperweight looks an awful lot like the apparent light that I see in the sky. Now, I'm not claiming to know what that is. That's the real sun, the sun that God put in the firmament to light the day. Now, I don't know what it is. It's spiritual. God created it. He can do whatever he wants. He literally could have a giant iPhone pointing down at us. I'm not saying that's what it is, but I don't know. But it sure makes me feel good. It sure makes things grow and it makes things happy. So I think there's something more to it than just a light. But I mean, you know, I'm just kidding, right? I know I live right there and I'm spinning 1,000 miles per hour right now and hurling towards the sun at 66,600 miles per hour. And there are definitely people running around upside down in Australia. I mean, just because I don't see it or never have, or it defies all logic and reason, kind of like water bending around to stick to the other side of the ball, it doesn't mean it's not true. I mean, this is totally illogical. Stuff moving above us, even though every day I see the sun, it looks like it's moving and not us. And a place where everyone is standing in the same direction, well, that's just comical. Oh, You know, the funny thing about this NASA video is that the clouds don't ever seem to move. I mean, the Earth's rotating several hours, yet the clouds stay the exact same. I mean, I don't know about you, but I sure see the clouds and storm fronts moving a lot faster than standing still. All for entertainment purposes, people. I'm sure they just depicted things this way back then because they didn't know any better. Entertainment only.